Representative Carey from the state of Ohio is recognized for 5 minutes.
I want to thank the chairman. I also want to thank the witnesses for being here today, two of whom I've known for many years. It's good to see both. And I really appreciate you all traveling this way. And obviously, having Ohio's own Secretary of State here is quite an honor. As my colleagues have already mentioned today, this presents us a critical opportunity to ensure the safeguarding, I think all of you have said this, of Americans' elections. In fact, earlier this week, my dear friend Mr. Morelli from across the aisle, we did a bill together, the COCOA Act, or the Confirmation of Congressional Observers Act, bipartisan bill. This bill was another example of just the common sense bipartisan legislation that we do on this committee that ensures confidence with Americans. So I'm going to turn a little bit to Secretary LaRose, if you don't mind. If you recall, I believe it was in June of this year, our Governor, Mike DeWine, signed into law a new campaign finance provision to prevent foreign nationals from engaging in Ohio's elections. Now, for those of you who don't know, we have an issue 1 ballot that is actually going to be up in November. And if the numbers that I'm seeing are correct, over $26 million has been spent on the yes vote, of which a large portion of that came from foreign entities, and only about 200,000 from 26 million. Think about this, $26 million raised, only 200,000 actually came from the state of Ohio. So a lot of people outside of Ohio had a lot of interest in what Ohio was doing in its election. Can you talk about why this change was needed? I kind of pretty much laid it out there for you, Mr. Secretary, but if you would, please.
Well, thank you, Congressman. Unfortunately, it is needed because there are foreigners who think that they have a role in Ohio's elections, including, by the way, a Swiss billionaire who, the day the governor called the special session to pass the bill barring foreign people from contributing, made a contribution because he was trying to get in under the wire. $6 million Hans-Georg Weiss gave to an issue in Ohio.
What was his name again? I just want to make sure we're clear on this.
Hans-Georg Weiss, the same guy that funds a fake news operation in Ohio that, of course, supports the issue that he's funding as well.
And he is from Switzerland, just so we're clear.
The country of Switzerland. Yes, fondue, Swiss cheese, all of that. Yep.
Okay. All right. So how does the law that the governor signed prevent foreign nationals from engaging? And I know he kind of tried to circumvent the system, giving the time frame, but how has it changed and now?
Well, unfortunately, it's currently not in effect because of a ruling by a federal judge. We are appealing that because, again, Ohioans want us to keep foreign actors out of our elections. And so, unfortunately, that law is on hold right now.
So it's something that Ohioans wanted, but we have a judge that is trying to say that. Can you give me a little more details about the court
so it was
case?
based on the inclusion of permanent legal residents in the legislation. We kind of warned the legislature they may not want to include permanent legal residents, and that is the part that has caused this to be held up by the federal court.
And can you give me the number that our friend from Switzerland, again, donated to this cause?
$6 million. The day the governor called the special election to outlaw foreign donations.
Unbelievable. Listen, I don't have much time left, but but quickly, in Ohio, like Florida, many voters choose to vote by mail. Can you tell the committee what protections Ohio has in place to prevent mail-in ballot fraud?
Yep. It starts with maintaining accurate voter rolls. We remove deceased voters on a monthly basis. Of course, we check the identification of someone when they request an absentee ballot. We don't mail out unsolicited absentee ballots, which would be a foolish idea, in my opinion. We also allow people to track their ballots. You go to our website, you can track your ballot and make sure that it's received. These are just a few of the safeguards that we have in place.
Again, I want to thank all the witnesses for being here and appreciate your time. And unfortunately, we do have two committees that are running simultaneously. I would like to hear the rest of the questions, but I am going to have to go. But it's good to see you both, my friends, and look forward to seeing you again. With that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. We now recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr.